Hello my fellow gamers and Cities Skylines fans, and welcome to Philosophy videos. Today I'm going to continue my let's play designing new cities in this fishing village, which is just the first fishing village in the city called Fish&Chips. The city is going to hold several fishing villages along this river and this lake or ocean, whatever it is over here, but currently I'm just building this one here. I am going to start having problems with crime because I haven't placed a police station, but I do have residential and commercial areas, so a police station is a must, and that is something that I am going to place right about here. Over here we have the fishing industry, which currently is at 100% when it comes to shellfish fishing. Over here at the anchovy it is also 100, but over here at the salmon fishery we have a problem of only 33 route efficiency at the moment, so we need to see what's the problem. The problem seems to be that this route is simply too small to pick up enough fish for this to go at 100 route capacity. So we need to extend this. But salmon is something that we only have here, where we already have these buildings, and over here at the bridge. So what I'm thinking is I can try and set up another fishing boat line here. Maybe these won't mind fishing boats coming through here, and that should get it to 100%. In order to do that, I'm going to first delete the old one. I'm going to pause the game for just a moment. And I'll make a new line. So I'll start from here, I'll go over here, pick up all the fish in this area, and then I'll turn, going over here to the left, picking everything up over here, and then going back inside of this area all the way here, and then going back to the original building from which the fishermen came out. So this, I think, will improve the efficiency all the way to 100%. But we'll keep an eye on this as we build along. Now, for this area here, we've just added the police station, but we also need to add all the other services as well. The elder care and the child health center, because this improves the birth rate inside the city. So this is something I'll place over here as well. And as I can see, I do have a high request for residential zones, and I do need another building because these things are going to be creating a lot of fish. This one is at 69% right now. Okay, we'll deal with that a little bit later. We'll need a place for these teams to work at and that fish to be sold. At the end of this option menu, we do have the fish market and the fish factory. I think I want to go with the fish market. This is something that I need to find a place for, and I might as well put it in this neighborhood. If I can place it here, nope. Okay, then I'll place it over here. So this is where we are going to have the fish market, and this should provide a place for all the fish to go through. You see, we already have a problem, not enough buyers for fish. So this market should deal with that problem very soon. And we do need more workers, more commercial zones, and some industry later on as well, over there in the hills up there. So let us see about what can we use on these zones here. I think I see some more places that can be used for homes, like here and here, although this one won't be 4x4. Alright, here we can have a 4x4, here as well, some a bit smaller ones. Here we cannot really use these zones because they are overlapping, but we can do something about that. If we take something that is going to stop the zoning from this street going over here. So I'm going to use this path. I think I've shown you this in the previous episodes enough times, so you know what I'm doing. And that will free up the zoning in this neighborhood. So we can put another building here. Not much space left there, so we'll leave that empty. And over here I think we have enough space for some new homes. This is something that I'll do more on these streets as well, and then have more population. Because I wish to save you the time, I'm just going to do this and then jump you to that moment. Alright, so I may have gone a little bit overboard on fixing up the place with trees and bushes and the small growth, but it looks much nicer now, doesn't it? Over here I did some better management with the fishing route, and I will show that to you right now. The salmon I took all the way over here beneath the bridge, and it's now fishing rather well beneath the bridge and going all the way here as well if need be. So it is now at 100% efficiency for all three of them. This one is actually seeing not enough buyers from time to time, but the fish market is selling quite a load of fish to all of these people, and the more people we have, the more fish will be sold. The seaweed farm, the algae farm, and the fish farm are also doing their thing and producing their own types of fish and goods. Over here I have already drawn a few more of these streets, and what I need to do is now add some more homes for them. They will move in instantly as I have a large residential demand. So these should be nicely with 4x4 buildings filled up, and I need to choose which area to expand on further. because I'm producing a hell of a lot of fish, I might actually need to build the fish factory here as well, just to be able to use up all that fish. So what I'm thinking is jumping over to this area over here, starting a residential area here, some commercial, and then the fish factory all the way here in the hills. So this is why I'm going to move on to this part of the city and start building up some zones here. This one should be zonable nicely over here, and then I'll do something more interesting for the next ones. For example, going like this, and then going back up again, connecting over here, and from here I can do some interesting twists and turns. Alright, and from here it doesn't really have to end anywhere, it can just be built there, and that's a nice neighborhood. Over here I don't think I have to do 2 neighborhoods, so for now I'll just leave it at 1, although I do need a place to put all the services, so yeah, I might as well fill up another neighborhood with streets as well. Okay, that's finished. Now let's add some zones. Over here at the bottom I'll add the commercial areas. I'll just need to disable zoning on these side streets to make sure that I get good zones on the inside. And of course I don't wish to zone anything there so the traffic doesn't have buildings on the traffic flow streets. So like I said, some commercial areas over here where I can fit them. Something like this, and one over here. Now these don't give each other enough room, so I'll actually move the street a little bit down over here. And now it should provide more room so that they can go and have a backyard next to the backyard. Something like this. Excellent. I'll put one there. And from here, we just need to add some services. Make sure that they have a place to burn their dead, a place to take their sick, somebody to police them, somebody to check on the fire situation, and of course a place for the children to be healed if they get sick by any chance. And we'll need some parks as well, some interesting and cool parks. Let's say one over here, one over here, one over here, and some plazas for good measure. Say something over here, and we are going to need a school. Let's say we put one over here and one elementary school over here, with one high school being at the bottom here. Now, because these two aren't connected with a road, they will be connected by a path that will allow the Sims to actually go to school over here using this path from the street. Now there isn't any power here, but that can be easily solved by drawing some power lines from here. So this area should now have power, and from here on I can draw some residential areas. It shouldn't take too long for them to get power. There we go. As Sims move into these areas, they are going to be able to work in my fish factory, and that is something that I will put across the street over here. I do have this little endpoint here, which I'll use just for that. So move it over here, go to the fish factory option. There we go. It can go there, and in order for it to not be a blind street, I will even connect it over here to this one. Now that we have this setup, now I just need to add some more zones, and as soon as I have enough of a workforce, that factory will be online and all the fish should be turned into something more useful right here in this fishing village. Now that the fish factory is running, it needs commercial zones to actually spend all the fish that it's producing. It is now currently only having 10 out of 53 workers, and they're already storing enough goods for all these commercial zones. You can see that the goods have been sent out on this truck, so these commercial zones need to increase in volume in order to be able to use up all that fish. The excess should be able to be exported. If not by the trucks, I'll put a train station somewhere around here. But in order to increase the amount of commercial areas, I also need to increase the amount of Sims that are going to use those commercial areas. So I'll add some more commercial areas like this, and then I'll add some Sims who are actually going to be using them. The next thing that I need to do is add some districts, because I haven't added any since I started building the city. And there are some interesting fishing district policies that I need to play around with. I'll make one district over there, and the other one is going to be over here. If you would like to, you can give me suggestions on how to name these districts. And the thing about the new policies is that you have some interesting ones, like the algae-based water filtering, fishing license. As for city planning, there is also the dolphin safe fishing, sustainable fishing, which is something that I need to think about using. So dolphin safe fishing says decreased fish yields, which is something that I'm okay with since I'm overproducing anyway, and increases citizen happiness by 20%. This is excellent. I really like this, although I'm not sure do I need to cover the buildings as well. the ones that are doing the fishing with this, or just the folks working there and living over here. Just to make sure that I cover both, I'm gonna go and extend my district all the way here, so I can put this policy into effect on all of this. What else do we have here? We have sustainable fishing, which increases the fishing harbor upkeep and decreases yield, but also increases the citizens' happiness and the income from commercial goods. I'm gonna go with that as well. As for the other ones, we have the fishing license, which increases the residential income by 5% if we let them fish, but will increase the crime and reduce their happiness. I think I'm going to allow this since I've already increased their happiness with the previous two policies. So let's see about the last one. Algae-based water filtering increases filtered in water intakes, reduces algae farm production, and increases water facility upkeep. This is not something that I need, because all my water is being filtered here at the Echo Inland water treatment plant, and the waste processing complex is dealing with the garbage. The interesting thing about the city is of course my layout, and I do wish to check it out how the city's design is handling the traffic. Currently 83%, but this really isn't the best gauge. We really need to put an eye on things and see exactly how this is going. We can see that even at speed 3 there isn't too much traffic. Of course this village is still a micro village, so there aren't that many vehicles, but currently everything seems to be working nicely with this design, so I'm pretty happy how this turned out. And they do seem to be using it to get in. They are using it to travel on the outer edge, get out onto the side of the city that they need to go, while the ones who need to get out seem to be nicely using the inner side and then getting into this highway ramp here and getting out. So that's all working out nicely. We shall see later on, is it going to work out with higher traffic. Let's see, where else can we build anything new and more? Over here a home, I think, and another one here. I think some room is left over here. Not much here that I can see. Oh, right over here we have more room, so we'll use this up as well. We do also need to give them some industry to use up the unemployed, so that's something that I will need to add. Although I could just go with some of the offices to soak up the unemployment. And I think it would be interesting to place the offices over here. Like these are the fishing executives who work and have a view of the river. So it could be interesting to make these buildings over here and soak up those unemployed, although they do need quite better educated folks. So this is something that I need to work on, my education. And there are a lot of other policies that I would like to do. So I'm going to use all of them right now. Tax relief for low density commercial, and the offices as well. As for city planning, industry space planning, big business manufacturer, high-tech housing. Let's see what else. No, this small business enthusiast. Yeah, we can do that as well. Yeah, I didn't really have to do the big business because that's for high density, but maybe later on I will have some high density here, although I doubt it. And smoke detectors, why not? Same over here. So I won't ban pets because I don't wish to reduce their happiness. And let's go with everything else that we did over there as well. That should do it. Let's see over here, I think I can add some more homes as well. I'm even doing the micro homes, but 2x2s and 3x2s, because I really do not need to make sure that they are all 4x4s in this little fishing village. I'm going to let them have those small homes as well. Maybe some people from the large cities around want to come here and have an enjoyable day, so they can use those small homes. I may even think about making a tourist-only city. I'm not sure have the tourists actually become a viable gameplay option in Cities Skylines, because before I remember tourists being totally broken and not working. If you have any experience with building tourist-trapped cities, I would like to hear your experiences, and I might think about doing that city for my fourth city, like a tourist-trapped city. And I think this pretty much fills all the rest of the areas here, with the residential and commercial, maybe a small shop here. That about does it. As for education, I do need to check, so I have plenty of schools, plenty of high schools. Maybe a public library isn't too bad of an idea, although I think I just ran out of space. Okay, I'll put it here, take up some of the space from the residential areas, and maybe over here a public library as well. I would just need to find a spot to actually build it. Say maybe over here. There we go. Now, I have yet to gain any offices. I don't really have any demand for industry. That is probably because the fishing industry is eating up all the demand. But if some demand does show up, these offices being built here would look really nice. And I could put some very interesting parks, large parks over here, using those interesting additions that we got when they gave us the free DLCs. I could paint a very nice park area over here like this, and then make a really ultra cool park here. But that's something I'll leave for the next episode. Now we are at 1,800 population. We are probably at 20%, 24% unemployment, so pretty high. These buildings don't seem to be taking up all the workers. I'm not sure why that is so. They should be using all of them. Maybe I don't have them educated well enough. Let's check this out. So 7 out of 7 uneducated, 4 out of 15 educated, and 4 out of 5 well educated, 1 highly educated. Highly educated. Alright then, I'll add a university here as well. Let's say over here. It's a good thing I left a lot of room there. So it seems that the fishing industry actually does need a few executives for them to be highly educated. I do need this university. Hopefully one university in this small fishing village. Yeah, these buildings don't have enough educated workers at all, but yeah, I am playing on speed 1, so education does take time. They are probably 60, 30, 8 and 0% highly educated because I didn't have any universities. So that's all okay. There is still a demand for more residential zones, so I'm going to keep building up this area. And with more educated, more of them will go fishing, and the more fish they fish, I'll need to expand on my industry. This one I think is producing quite a lot of units and using their freight trucks to do all the work. Over here the fish market is selling as well. So all in all, it is a pretty nice start for this fishing village. I won't take more of your time, and I'll leave you with this shot until episode 4. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for more.